it's time for Showbiz India Chaat. And right now is my team, Shay.
What's up, guys?
The pretty Ayushi.
Hey.
And my favorite, one of our team members is back, Tarun Shetty. Thank you so much. Great to see you.
Hey, thanks for having me. I appreciate it. I'm like the metrosexual of the group, so it's great to be here.
Absolutely. You're the most handsome of the group, so don't worry.
Awesome.
You're the most handsome.
You're the most handsome of the group. I'm right here.
Okay.
But I agree.
All right, well, today we have a special group. All three of you are working actors. What is it like to be a working actor in such a competitive field?
Well, I mean, it's great. I mean, look, the pros are you can follow your bliss, your fidelity to your human spirit and do what you want to do in life. Cons are there's so much competition in terms of acting. Like there's so many intangibles that you do not control. It's not a meritocracy. If you go to medical school for 7 years, you become a doctor. You can be acting forever and never book anything. So you run that risk of gambling with your life. And as South Asians, I think we're always trying to progress and be successful. And you can feel the pressure the longer you're in the business.
I can just imagine. Yeah, we hosted a couple of, actually, Ayushi helped me with some focus groups when we worked with LA County Mental Health Department. And there was a lot of, actors struggling with depression.
Sure. I mean, I'm depressed right now. Here I am. I'm in the dark. No, I'm good. No, but you know what I'm saying? It's like you just never have any feel for like what's going on, Like 1 minute, like there's like garbage bags in my windows one day. The next minute I'm like all happy and stuff. I try not to turn it on anymore when I audition and when I act, but it's more of like a internal thing. If you can control your fears and your desires and whatever, and just kind of take it day to day, moment to moment, you'll be in control.
Yeah, and I think especially being South Asians and the expectations that we have from our parents, let alone our culture, to be a specific type of profession which is respected amongst the community, that adds another layer to it. And I think that competitive nature is, from my experience within like the South Asian talent community, it could be, at first I didn't feel like it would be, it didn't feel like a fraternity, which I was expecting, that, all of us, we're raised the same way, we have similar culture, so we would be, looking out for one another. It's kind of cutthroat. And, and I found out the hard way just by coming across people who I thought had the best intentions when, talking or getting to know me. Their true colors came out. It's like Tarun said, it's part of the game. It's uncharted territory. You don't know what you're getting yourself into. And, there could be times where you're on the streak of just like, booking, and then within like a month or so, it's radio silence.
But Shay, Indians take it to another level. Like I've been on auditions with Indians. I remember this one audition, I'm not gonna name the actor. There was like a tie need. I forgot my tie. I was like, can I borrow your tie for the audition? He's like, no, dude, it's my tie. He won't give me his tie. Like Indians take it to another level, which is like unheard of. I know what Ayushi's experiences are dealing with Indians.
I've had auditions where I go and someone just took all the sides, which is like the dialogue, and just put them in another place in the room.
I mean, come on.
There's that much competition. So there's like vicious competition here.
Yes.
So it's not just the girls where they criticize beauty pageants.
No, guys are just as bad.
Stuff going on.
I think that there is a lot of competition, but it's also not fair if it's not exactly a level playing field. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think it's great that our industry is being more diverse. So it really doesn't help if there are new roles, but they keep going to the same 5 Indian people. Do you know what I mean? Like I had an experience where I was auditioning for a really big film, and I called up Shay and I was like, this is it, Shay, like this is me. Pinky was written for me, and like I'm from Delhi and I know Hindi, and this one's for me. And I found out that role ended up going to Priyanka Chopra. So how is that? Why is casting even having auditions? Why is network, even auditioning newer, diverse talent if the role ends up going to, someone much bigger star? So I think if the same roles keep going to the same 5 Indian people like Dev Patel or Priyanka Chopra, then I don't exactly know, how are we competing with? This is not even like fair competition.
You guys ever experienced racism in auditioning or in your field?
For me, it's like, I've been in auditions where the role clearly states that this is someone born in America, South Asian, whatever the profession, and they ask for an Indian accent. And I'm just like, okay? But then, when you're in the room, you can be as brave as you want outside of the room, but when you're in the room with people who can control your fate, you kind of sometimes lose your ability to speak up, or you feel like speaking up will ruin your chances, not just for that opportunity, but any other future opportunities that casting office has. And there's also been times where it states this person is born in India or born in Pakistan, living there. Then I have to be the one to be like, okay, so I should do an accent for this, right? Oh yeah, if you're comfortable. No, it's not about being comfortable. This person lives there. I'm portraying somebody who lives in that. So I would not have an American accent. I would have a South Asian accent. So there's that fine line. But then you also come across roles that are written where you're not, they're not laughing with you. They're laughing at you. Case in point, there's a reoccurring character on a sitcom right now. And the person is young, and you would think they went to school here, but the person has an accent because they're being laughed at and how they're saying things versus what they're saying, right? It's not what they're saying that's funny, it's how they're saying it what makes it funny. So therefore, they're laughing at the accent.
Right. The bigger roles will always end up going to the same 5 Indian stars, or same 5 Pakistani stars. But then the smaller ones, right? The ones where people are laughing at you and not with you, those are the ones that go out to the working class actors. So I think that if the industry is going to make an effort to be diverse, then actually be diverse and trust that diversity can work. Don't just end up giving it to the same actors. Why even have casting? Why even audition, our level of actors when you're going to end up giving it to like a bigger star? If you are really going to be diverse, then actually be diverse.
But you know what? When you and Shay walk out, I'm gonna walk right in because I'm like, yeah, I'll take those roles. I'm looking to work. I'll do whatever. I'll sell out, whatever. I've been on this thing for so long at this point. Like I've seen it, just transcend. And like, yeah, you do those roles. And then when you become that person, when they're like, oh, Ayushi's the go-to girl, you're like, you know what? After you Hollywood, I'm going to do it my way. I don't have to do your stupid roles anymore. You don't have to play the game. It's like a giant Monopoly game. I see it now that I'm older, but when I was younger coming up, I was like, oh, you know what? It's got to be a perfect fit, circle to circle. Not anymore. There's no rules to this business. There's no rules in Hollywood. Anybody who tells you there's a rubric to how Hollywood works is out of their mind. Like South Asians have to make their own way and then establish your own brand and identity.
Subscribe to Showbiz India's YouTube channel and be sure to click on that bell icon for instant notifications.